Ronan, I'd love to get your take on the Lions squad announced yesterday. I think the obvious place to start is with the out-half decision. How will Johnny Sexton feel having either got the call or not received the call from Warren Gatland over the course of the last couple of days?
Yeah, if I was Johnny Sexton, and I'd be very disappointed, and I think he has every reason to feel disappointed. And I alluded to it this morning in the Examiner, kind of saying, like, the tour is now. It's not, we're not looking at summer 12 months. It's now, and I think he had an excellent Six Nations. His goal kicking is as good as it's ever been, if not better than it's ever been. I think he's the man for a big occasion. I think he can manage his body most definitely for the next 3 months to get the best out of him. Afterwards, I think it's a completely different story. But in regard to going for a tour with everything on the line, gold medals involved in winning a test series, I think he's invaluable in your 23.
The durability thing comes up, obviously. Brian,
yeah, of course it is. Yeah. But there's a management factor in that too, in the fact that durability, if it's all in for winning the test series, which is what Lions series are about, he probably has to train the house down. He needs to play the Saturday before the test. He plays the test, and then, you know what I mean, to win the test, you need to obviously dominate South Africa for 60 minutes of the second test to hopefully get you over the line. If you go 2-0, there's no durability involved.
You've spoken a good bit about Finn Russell on the show before as well. I'm
a massive fan of his, but Finn Russell, I think, is very, very exciting to change it up. Johnny is probably, as I'd call, a kind of a settler, a strategist in terms of you start the game with him. Finn Russell is the complete opposite in the fact that if you're chasing a game, he is a great asset to bring off a bench. You know what I mean? Because if you're 6 points down, most definitely he has an array of skills that very few people have, that he can win a game for you. And the great thing about that is that I think if you put him in, there's not much of a difference between losing a game 6 points and 13 points if he manages with a killer pass of his for that ball to be intercepted. But that goes with the way he plays the game, and he plays it very differently to a lot of people, and that has to be respected too.
It's interesting, you've kind of touched on the disconnect that exists between reality and media coverage when it comes to Leinster, say, over the last couple of days. I was interested in how Warren Gatland was going to respond to questions about power when it came to South Africa, because that has certainly been the way it's been pitched in the media, a team based on power. He didn't stray away from that at all, Ronan, and I'm wondering, in 2009, for example, was there as big a focus on this one facet as there seems to be in this squad?
I think there wouldn't have been, but that's, 12 years ago? So everything is advancing, as we know, and everything is becoming more under the microscope and analysed and data related. And there was a big emphasis even in 2009, and there's even a bigger emphasis now. But I think, in fairness to Warren Gatland, he'll have his players absolutely convinced in his policy about how he feels is the best way to take down the Springboks. And as we know, for the last 20 years, he's got massive buy-in from the people that he has coached.
Brian O'Driscoll was on yesterday. He said if he's trying to find reasons to leave him out in relation to Sexton, obviously you can find them, and that's where the durability thing comes in. But the absence, just straight from having him around the environment, the training pitch, meeting rooms, around the test environment, just seems such a. Gatland obviously has history here, and who knows, but it seems like such a head scratcher to not have somebody like that around the environment over that period of time.
Yeah, I'd say they didn't really maybe they did or didn't consider that, Adrian. I think it seems to me that the discussion was around, can he back up tests? Their opinion was no, and then they probably moved on. Yeah. I think they look at who they have. They go probably carrying the load will be Farrell and Bigger, and I would say Impact Russell.
You'd have Farrell is going out as an out half, is he?
I think so. He obviously has the capacity to play 12 for me when he's on song, when he's tuned in, when he's not captain. There are very few people as good as him as number 10 in the world.
Did you drop Johnny a text afterwards? Are you still that close, or?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I felt for him. I did. I was. Yeah, it hit me because I know how much of a competitor he is, and I know how much it means to him. And you know, I mean, we've had our differences over the years, most definitely. But had a good, lovely few years in Paris together. That was hugely enjoyable, and I've obviously had periods of strong contact and periods like leading up to the game where you wouldn't be in contact, but there's an awful lot of respect there, and admire what he's done in his career. And I think it's tough, but that's what happens, you know. That everyone thinks it's just that person, but it doesn't finish well for a lot of people, as we know, and that's sport, and that's what happens. It's tough, but it's nothing personal, and you move on to the next job, and Johnny will move on and get motivated for what his next challenge is.
Yeah, look, it's not the biggest thing in your radar over the next while. I've absolutely no doubt about that.
No, but it's not like that. It's just you've got to remember too that I think it's you know, I mean, Johnny is at an age where he has done so much. It's someone like James Ryan that you'd have to be particularly disappointed for as well, because he's at an age where he's probably not near his prime, but he's offered so much. And you mean, for, I suppose, we were categorising him as a world-class player, which I certainly thought it was as well, a potential Ireland captain, a Lions captain, and then all of a sudden this morning he's not involved in the squad. That's so soul destroying for players. I remember, well, I didn't have that disappointment as a player missing out in squads, but you know, I mean, when you're missing out for test selection or you mess up in a test, it's shattering. But that's what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, as the saying says, and so true. So those guys this morning, you'd be thinking for them, not about the people that are going. You think of the guys who are missing out.
Yeah, plenty more time to talk Lions as well over the coming months. Listen, congratulations last weekend. It's absolutely brilliant stuff. You'll have a huge cohort of people, I've no doubt, over this side of the water cheering you on in a couple of weeks' time. So well done. Enjoy it.
Yeah, thanks.
Catch up with you down the track.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Owen. Thanks, Adrian. Appreciate it. Thank you. See you, boys.